nice
to tomorrow's need. Please pick up the phone and call the Purple Cross Plan and see how it can work for you.
CNN Today with Lou Waters and Natalie Allen. Weekdays on CNN.
Tonight, the Democratic leader of the United States Senate. Who's his choice for president? Does he believe Democrats can take back control of Congress? And does he think President Clinton should be reimbursed for his Whitewater and Monica Lewinsky legal bills?
From Washington, Crossfire. On the left, Bill Press. On the right, Robert Novak. In the Crossfire, Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle from South Dakota.
Good evening. Welcome to Crossfire. Among Democrats, the race for President 2000 has turned into a real battle. Al Gore and Bill Bradley used two debates over the weekend to bicker like an old married couple, or like two political candidates. Both Gore and Bradley agree on the need for expanded health care, but disagree on how to get there. Both agree on gays serving openly in the military, but disagree on who's the best one to make it happen. Both agree on campaign reform, but Bradley yesterday rejected Gore's suggestion that they both commit to stop running TV commercials. It's a serious offer, Gore insisted. It's nothing but a political ploy, Bradley sneered. It's not just the White House Democrats are aiming for. With a GOP advantage of only 5 seats in the House and 10 in the Senate, some Democrats believe taking control of both houses of Congress is also possible. Is it? Well, tonight we look at it all, issues and candidates, with one of the Capitol's most powerful Democrats, Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle of South Dakota. Bob?
Senator Tom Daschle, we don't want to pretend we're keeping the viewers in suspense. You are committed to Al Gore.
That's right.
We want to be above board and put it on the
Bob.
table.
Yep.
In yesterday's debate, the event that got all the publicity, the page one stories, happened when Vice President Gore made that proposal on banning all TV commercials. Let's take a look at that.
If you will agree, I will stop running all television and radio commercials until this nomination is decided. That can get a lot of the money out of the presidential campaign and accomplish one of the best reforms. What about it?
Sounds to me like you're having trouble raising money.
No. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm not.
This is a ridiculous proposal.
Senator, one thing your old colleague Bill Barry has right, it is ridiculous, isn't it? The idea that the front runner, who in many states is 30, 40 points ahead, says we're not going to go on television, we're going to go on these debates, which nobody watches. That is ridiculous.
I tell you what they don't want to watch, Bob, and that is all these 30-second attack ads. That's probably the nemesis of politics today.
Bradley's not running attack ads.
30-second attack ads. Well, you know, we're not into the real heat of the campaign yet. Wait until you see. You know how elections go. You've watched more than just about anybody, and you know how vicious, how negative, and how turned off candidates can become as a result of these attack ads. What the vice president was saying is, look, let's get rid of that. That's a good idea? Let's just not do that. Let's just have a good opportunity for some real thoughtful consideration of the issues. Let's have some debate.
You didn't answer my question. You think it's a good idea?
It is a good idea.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, debates on television and politics are not exactly one on the basis of who makes the debating points in a parliamentary debate. They're the impressions that people get. And I want you to take a look at, we can let the senator see this. I want you to take a look at the debate and how they looked at each other.
I want to finish, Bill. I didn't.
I don't think we got a very good idea of that, but there was a lot of groaning by the vice president and moaning and saying, "Isn't that terrible?" and shaking his head. You think that was good debating tactics?
Well, I tell you what, I thought he was to the point. I thought Tim Russert asked some very good questions, and I thought both candidates performed very well. Actually, I thought that Al Gore won that debate. I thought his answers were crisp, they were on message, they were on target, and they resonated with the American people. I believe strongly that
this rolling of the eyes and saying, Oh, that was okay?
I didn't notice some of
You
the
didn't notice. Well,
rolling of the eyes.
I wish you had been able,
But,
I wish you had been able to
Let me
see
look
that.
at you directly, Bob, and just tell you.
yeah.
I really think that Al Gore did a very good job yesterday. I thought both candidates did a good job. And I think that's what the American people want to see. I've talked to a lot of people today. I'm bumping into them as I was moving around town. I was surprised at the number of people who said they watched that debate. That's the kind of thing that I think you need to see.
Probably. But anyway, Senator, Senator, I want you to look at one other piece of tape from that debate, because I know you're interested in accuracy, and we're just going to take a look at that from a standpoint of accuracy.
I remember visiting the White House in 1993, Democratic Congress, both Senate and House, and urging the president to act on campaign finance reform. Now, I don't know if you were in the loop or not, but the fact of the matter is that no action took place. Where was the effort made, Al, in 1993?
We got every single Democratic senator to vote for it.
What's wrong with this Vice President Gore's statement?
Well, we got just about every single Democrat in support of it.
But Tom, this was 1993. You had a majority in the Senate. If you had gotten every single Democratic vote, it would have passed.
No, you know how that works, Bob. You need 60 votes. We couldn't break a Republican filibuster.
You didn't have.
That has been the problem.
You didn't have majority vote in the Senate.
We had almost a majority, but that wasn't the issue.
But he said they got
what
every.
He was talking
that's
about,
not true, is it?
No, what he was talking about was what we've had this year, what we had last year. We had 45 Democrats and we had 45 votes. We've had consistently the number of votes that represent unanimity in our caucus.
Just to clean this up, some of us are kind of interested in accuracy. Senator Bradley was talking about 1993. He was very clear in May-93. He said you got every Democratic vote.
But I think the Vice President was talking about this year.
He's a little mixed up, wasn't he?
But I will tell you this. I think you've got to recognize, and Bob, you'd have to admit this. I mean, the Republicans filibuster every single time campaign finance reform comes up. We aren't able to pass this legislation because we don't have the 60 votes. You get a 60 Democrats, we'll pass campaign finance reform.
You want me to get
Senator,
60 Democrats?
Senator, let
you
me
probably
ask
could.
Yeah.
I'm curious about one thing. I have read a lot of stories. I wasn't in Washington when Bill Bradley was in the United States Senate, but I've read a lot of stories from fellow senators who say he was aloof, he was a loner, he was sort of seldom engaged in the big issues. But if you hear Bill Bradley speak, he was a leader on the big issues. He almost walked on water. Here's the way he put it yesterday in the debate, if you can listen in, please.
When I was in the United States Senate, I'd take big, complicated issues like taxes, international trade, and put a structure of reform around those and push that reform. Or I'd take issues that were considered volatile, like race, and try to play to our better angels. And each time I did that, someone would come to me and say, you know, that's a political risk. And I said, yes, but that is the risk of leadership.
What's the truth, Senator? What kind of a senator was Bill Bradley?
Bill Bradley was a great senator. No one can ever take that away from him. 18 years of solid contribution. No, I'm not. I admire him. I like him. He's a friend of mine. I think he's been a good candidate. You know, everybody has different styles. Bill Bradley had a different style than Al Gore, and I have a different style from both of them. We all have different styles, but that's the strength of our caucus and really the strength of the Senate.
Do you think that Bill Bradley walked away from a tough fight when you needed him in 1995, said he was not going to run for re-election?
Everybody has to make up their own mind when the time has come, and he made it. I respect that decision. There are a lot of times I wish, in fact, I try to keep people there, but there are times when people have very good reasons to move on, and I think he had some good reasons.
There's another senator that there have been a lot of rumors flying about, that you can't work with a guy, he flies off the handle, you better stay out of his way, he could never be effective because nobody can work with him. John McCain. True, Senator? You're the Democratic leader. You see him in action.
I can work with him. I work with him very closely. I think he's a, you know, he brings different strengths to the Senate than I do. But clearly, he is a person with whom Democrats and Republicans can work.
Did you ever hear any Republican senators suggest that because of his POW experience, you know, he might have some problems?
Never, Bill. Absolutely not. I think it's crazy. I mean, I think I think he's as solid a senator as there is. I don't think there's an iota of truth to it.
Senator Daschle, Vice President Gore, in the famous pep rally on the White House lawn after President Clinton was impeached, said that the president was one of the greatest presidents of all time, if you remember that. He was asked about that in the debate, by Tim Russert yesterday, and he kind of backed away from it. But I'd like to ask you, do you think Bill Clinton is one of the great presidents of all time?
Bob, I will tell you this. You look at the record of the last 7 years. You look at the economy. You look at what we've done in education. You look at what we've been able to do in so many areas in foreign policy. You look at this post-Cold War. And with some dispassionate view of the record over a period of time, years from now, I think Bill Clinton is going to be listed as one of those presidents who was an extraordinarily successful leader, a strong and articulate voice for this country, and I won't back down from that, and I don't think most Democrats will.
Well, and so I take that as a yes.
Yeah.
In connection with that, there was a question at a rally in New Hampshire where Vice President Gore was asked about that by a woman, and she also asked him about an incident about Juanita Broderick, who had made a claim that she was raped by the president. She asked the vice president, did that change your opinion about being one of the best presidents in history? Do you believe Juanita Broderick's claim? And what did you tell your son about this? And the vice president just kind of laughed and said he didn't know what to make of the claim. But I'm going to ask you those questions. What do you say about that?
They're allegations. How do you, I mean, those are all claims that throughout our history have been made against leaders of our country and other leaders as well. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but in this country, until you're proven guilty of something, you're not guilty. I think we have to make that assumption in this case as well.
She's bringing suit against the Miss Broderick. A suit was filed claiming that records were kept of her in the White House. But does it bother you that the White House has never denied those allegations flatly?
Well, I think that there may be some legal reasons why they have to take the position they do, but I will say this again. Until President Clinton or anybody else is proven guilty of an allegation, he is not guilty, and we have to make the assumption he's innocent.
We have to take a break, but I'm going to ask you one more question before, and since it fits into this, and that is there was a story in the Washington Post quoting legal sources as saying that the president was considering a legal suit to get $5 million from the public to take care of his legal expenses, even though he has been deemed by a judge to being in contempt of court. Do you think that's a good idea for the public to pay the president's legal bills?
I think it'd be very controversial and very hard to pass in the Congress.
Think it'd be a good idea to do it, or a bad idea?
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Okay. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will... Well, you're doing the break?
No.
Okay, I thought you were giving me a bad look.
Oh, no, I was just waiting.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Tom Daschle about whether, a year from now, we'll be calling him Majority Leader Daschle.
Relax your body. Free your mind. And soothe your spirit. Enter your own quiet world. Presenting Quiet Moods, your escape to a relaxing world. Quiet Moods, the most beautiful music ever recorded. Quiet Moods, more than 3 full hours of music that will lift you up and soothe your spirit on 3 CDs or cassettes. Quiet Moods will work for you. We guarantee it. Discover the soothing world of Quiet Moods. Here's how to order.
To order quiet moods. Call 1-800-306-5300. That's 1-800-306-5300. Or send $24.99 for 3 cassettes or 3 CDs, plus $4.95 shipping and handling to Quiet Moods, P.O. Box 2919, Atlanta, Georgia 30301.
America prepares for the first election of the new millennium. The faces, issues, and ideas that will change the American political landscape and the balance of power. Only one network will provide the depth of programming, covering the live, breaking story with the most experienced team of journalists ever assembled on television and online. America's campaign headquarters for Election 2000 is CNN.
Early Edition with Carol Lynn and Leon Harris. Weekdays on CNN.
Welcome back to Crossfire. Democratic Senator Thomas Daschle of South Dakota hates his job. He's minority leader of the Senate, but he wants to be majority leader, and that means recapturing the Democratic control of the Senate that was lost in 1994. Is that really possible? If it is, will Majority Leader Tom Daschle have any better luck in getting the Senate to function than Majority Leader Trent Lott has? We'll ask Senator Daschle himself. Bill?
Senator, can't wait to get into some of these races. I know Bob does too, but I want to first ask you about a couple more issues that are on the table. Your counterpart, or the Majority Leader today, Trent Lott, and some other Republican leaders said they want the Congress to grant citizenship to this little 6-year-old Cuban boy, Elian Gonzalez, who lost his mother when they were trying to flee to the United States. Let me ask you, is that the proper role of Congress, to grant individual citizenship to one person?
I don't think so at this point, Bill. I hadn't heard that. I think the most important thing we can do for the child is to reunite him with his family. We've got to take a good look at whether or not the father is capable of taking the responsibilities of fatherhood on, but it seems to me that ought to be the first question. Can we reunite him with his father, and under what circumstances?
On another subject, Hillary Clinton, Bill Bradley, Al Gore have now all said, don't ask, don't tell, isn't working. Even the president says it's not working, but they say it ought to be trash and gays should be able to openly serve in the military. I guess a double question. Do you agree, and would you ever get the votes in the United States Senate for it?
Well, I think what we've got to do is to see what's possible. What can we do? How can we advance the agenda more effectively? I think it is right. Just about everybody has acknowledged now that it isn't working well. What we've got to do is find some way that it can be made to work better. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the next Congress we take a look at it.
Just one other issue. I was amazed yesterday that both Al Gore and Bill Bradley said when it comes to Social Security that you got to fix it, but no way, no how would they consider raising the retirement age. Senator, can you really take that off the table? Can you take anything off the table if you're serious about fixing that? Do you agree with them? No even consideration?
At this point, Bill, you've got to take it off the table. I just think that there is a contract with the American people that we consider inviolate. And one of those aspects of the contract that is inviolate is the age. There are too many people who have planned their lives, their livelihoods, their entire future on when they're going to be able to retire. And changing that now, I think, would be a mistake. I might also add that, we are moving it to 67. That is going to take some time. Let's get to 67 before we even consider looking at anything else.
I'm 68. Do you think I should retire?
A lot of people thought you had to retire.
You're out of here, Bob.
Senator Daschle, look me in the eye and tell me you really think that you can be majority leader, because all the cards have to fall right, don't they? And you have to have a terrific run by the presidential candidate.
Well, Bob, we have to have the wind behind our back, but I'm telling you, we can do it. Every time there's been any kind of a change or a turnover in the Senate, it's been by big numbers. It's been 7, 8, 9, 12. And I think it's possible that this could happen in this cycle. You look at the races. You look at the number of Republicans who are vulnerable. You look at the number of Republicans who are running. You look at the number of Democrats who are running well. And I have to tell you, it looks a whole lot better now than it did 6 months ago, and 6 months from now it'll look even better.
Grant me this, Senator. You cannot become majority leader unless you keep the New York seat that's being given up by Pat Moynihan and is being sought by Hillary Rodham Clinton. I mean, if you lose that seat, you're really swimming upstream, aren't you?
Well, obviously, any loss would be a setback, but I don't know that any one seat is going to be more important than others. Obviously, we are going to win that one. Well, I'm telling you right now, we're going to win that seat, and a lot more in the Northeast. But that one is going to be one of the races
Mrs. Clinton's been running behind in the polls consistently. You know, it's really interesting. We've had 200 years of this republic, and we've never had a first lady running in a state that she's never lived in, never had any contact with, although she had in her dreams that she was a Yankee fan. This was a bad idea, wasn't it?
History is filled with never-hads. History is replete with all kinds of examples of first-time circumstances that happen, and I think this is going to be one of those. There's no question she is by far the more capable of the two candidates. We've only begun to see this campaign unfold. Keep in mind, there's 11 more months to go. That's eternity in politics. She's only down a couple of points in the polls that I've seen. There's no doubt in my mind when it heats up, when she puts her campaign together, as I know she will, she just now is a campaign manager, she's going to be even or ahead by summer, and she'll win by fall.
How would she have done if she decided she wanted to run in South Dakota? How do you think she would have done there?
Well, South Dakota and New York are different states. Let's leave it at that.
You better believe that.
Let me ask you about some of the other ones that you may or may not feel that you have in the bag. Rhode Island with Lincoln Chafee now filling his father's seat. Don't know who the Democrat's going to be. They're Wygant or Leach. You feel comfortable with that one?
I do. I don't feel comfortable, but that is clearly one of those races that we feel we're going to be very competitive in, and most likely will win.
You put that in the D column?
I do put it in the D column.
New Jersey?
New Jersey I put in the D column.
And the state of Delaware with veteran Bill Roth, Governor Tom Carper. I think the polls now show Carper slightly ahead of Roth.
Not slightly. He's up in double digits at this point, 12, 14 points, Bill. So I think that he is the next senator from the state of Delaware.
Now, do you think, Senator, when you get back to work and all the people come back from their junkets abroad, do you believe that you are going to get together with the Republicans and pass something the American people badly need, a tax cut?
I tell you what, Bob, you saw what happened to the tax cut last year, and the president vetoed it. The Republicans didn't even try to come back with a tax cut. They realized how much of a fallacy it was, how disastrous it was for them. The American people aren't clamoring for a tax cut. They're clamoring for better education.
I take that as a no.
Absolutely, but I'm telling you, that isn't on the agenda.
I thought for sure he was going to ask you about campaign reform.
I did too. I'm disappointed. He usually does.
Senator Daschle, great to see you. Thanks for coming into Crossfire. Bob Novak, I have a few more issues left on the table. Bob Novak and I will wrap them all up in our closing comments. Coming up.
Got tough pain, but think old-fashioned pain rubs are too messy? Here's great news. Revolutionary new Flexall Quick Gel. Clearly amazing, Quick Gel's unique aloe vera formula penetrates so fast and absorbs so completely, it won't mess your clothes or hands. Flexall Quick Gel. Full speed relief, no mess.
Okay, out there, let's get one thing straight. If you have a family, a kid, a house, you need insurance. But more than that, they need you to have insurance. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've got the body of an 18-year-old. You're going to live forever. The only thing that could do you in would be lightning or a cattle stampede. Ouch. Hey, this isn't about you. It's about your family. So protect them with term life insurance from Money. A $250,000 policy costs as little as... That's cheap, and that's per month. Guaranteed for the first 10 years. Plus, it's convenient because you can get it direct from the Money family, a name that's been around longer than you or I could ever hope to be. It's just a few dollars a month. So call them. It's quick, easy, and you can get started right now over the phone. Term life insurance from Money. The least you can do.
Call Money and find out how to help make your family feel more secure. If you call now, we'll even send you a calculator and insurance worksheet to estimate the coverage you may need.
Keeping pace with the pulse of the street. In the Money. Personal finance, hot stocks, the facts for financial success. Terry Keenan, Bill Tucker, and Darren Kagan host In the Money, the smart place to turn before you invest. Weekdays 11 Eastern on CNN. It's the eve of the new millennium and the dawn of a new economy. Join Stuart Varney and Will O'Vey as they ask the world's most powerful CEOs if the new age of prosperity will last. A special Moneyline series all this week, 6:30 Eastern on CNN.
Don't Don't miss your chance to chat online with Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle. Just go to cnn.com/crossfire right after the show. Bill, Tom Daschle is a real party loyalist. He even thought his man, a regular, he thought his man Gore won that debate. I thought he did badly. But Tom Daschle also is a pretty shrewd politician, and he gave very good advice to the president. I thought not to pursue that $5 million request from the American people to pay for the legal fees incurred by his misbehavior.
I would go further. I think the president should say categorically that he will not seek them, which he hasn't done yet. He hasn't asked for them yet, but he hasn't said he would not ask for them. I don't think he should ask for them. And if he does, I don't think he should get them. He did bring it on himself, Bob. But I am equally impressed with Tom Daschle, so impressed that I think we'd make a great majority leader, Bob. And you know what, Bob? If you look at New York, and if you look at Delaware, and you look at New Jersey, and you look at Rhode Island, and you look at California, I think it could happen, Bob.
It could. Anything could happen. But I'll tell you something, Bill. I think you and I have the biggest disagreement we've ever had, that you want to send Ilan Gonzalez back to dictatorship. I want him to live in freedom.
I want him with his father. From the left, I'm Bill Press. Good night for Crossfire.
On the right, I'm Robert Novak. Join us again next time for another edition of Crossfire.
I want to shout it from the rooftops. This is the thinnest I've been, maybe ever. I was fat. Slim Fast was the best thing that happened to me. I have lost over 50 pounds on the Slim Fast plan. I've kept it up for 2 years. Wow, I like that. I take care of myself and I eat smart. I have a Slim Fast for lunch every day. That's the secret.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
I love it, and it really gives me a charge.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I finally found the answer.
The holidays are coming. This time, Dwayne McFeeters is ready. A little while ago, he called the money store. We approved a home equity loan, paid off all his credit cards, got him back on track, and took a lot of worry off his mind. It was that easy. So call the money store. The holidays are coming, and it's nice to be ready.
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
It's the biggest story of the year, the century, the millennium. And who better to cover it than CNN? With 60 of its top correspondents in key locations around the world, CNN will usher in the new year live from every time zone on the planet, bringing you the global celebrations, reporting any and all Y2K events, examining the big issues that lie ahead. Millennium 2000, 100 hours of non-stop coverage beginning New Year's Eve on CNN.
Get the world and business news you need to get a jump on your day. Ahead of the Curve. Weekday mornings from 5 to 7 Eastern on CNN.
The Purple Cross Funeral Plan has helped nearly 500,000 families like yours for close to 50 years. And Mr. O.W. Kaipe is a big reason why. He was our very first Purple Cross representative and continues to help hundreds of families every year.
It's true, Dave. I've dedicated over half my life to bringing peace and security to families through the Purple Cross Plan. And here's how you can, too.
The Purple Cross Funeral Plan is designed to protect your family after the passing of a loved one. It allows you to choose the participating funeral home of your choice and select the total funeral package most suited to your personal and financial needs. The Purple Cross Plan can offer you a complete funeral service at a savings of hundreds, even thousands of dollars below the national average. The cost of your plan will never increase, and the benefits you choose will never decrease. That's the Purple Cross promise. That's the Purple Cross guarantee. Peace of mind is the greatest gift you can give your family during time of crisis. The Purple Cross Plan is peace of mind, today's answer to tomorrow's need. Please pick up the phone and call the Purple Cross Plan and see how it can work for you.
It's the grand opening of Car Stereo City's new Clackamas store, and America's #1 retailer is celebrating with free installation of most car decks and CD players. Pioneer 180-watt AM/FM CD player, $149. JVC remote control 12-disc CD changer, $199. Sony AM/FM car deck and 10-disc CD changer package, $299. And right now, get 2 free digital cell phones with AT&T's new Simple Family Calling Plan. It's simple, it's AT&T, and it's better than free at Car Stereo City.
The latest statistic I heard is that 1/3 of all women are battered sometime in their life. That's pretty high. Are you going to take abuse at home? Or are you going to be a street person, especially if you have kids? In fact, something like 90% of women with children who are homeless are there because they're abused.
Help stop the violence and save the lives of women and children in Oregon through your tax checkoff or a tax-deductible charitable donation. You can make a difference.
100 hours of Millennium 2000, only on CNN.